The electric muscle car concept was spotted during the shooting of Fast X scenes in Los Angeles. Dodge and the Fast and Furious Me franchise, otherwise known as the Fascias, have been an item since the fifth installment in the series, Fast 5. The relationship is a natural fit. Vin Diesel's gravelly voiced character, Dominic Toretto, rocks a 1970 Dodge Charger SRT. As the franchise slogged on, Toretto's signature Dodge Charger changed in each film. In Furious 7, the Charger was modified with an off-road suspension for some dirt action. In Fate of the Furious, the Toretto piloted a jet-powered Dodge Charger with ice tires to chase down a nuclear sub. You know, normal Dodge Charger owner stuff. But it looks like Toretto's next Charger is going to be a little more electric. Muscle car aficionados, take heart. The future of electric cars from Dodge is mean, menacing, and loud. Proof. The Dodge Charger Daytona SRT concept, which teases the production electric muscle car coming in 2024, amid promises it will beat all the performance metrics Dodge has laid down to date. Yes, the Dodge Charger Daytona SRT is powered by batteries and electric motors, but air still swooshes through chambers and pipes for a rumble very similar to the roar of a Hemi Hellcat V-8 in today's Dodge Charger Sand Challengers. It is only when the electric charger is being turned off that the final whir reminds you it is a battery electric car. And no melted jelly bean shape here. The car is sleek, powerful, and true to Dodge muscle car DNA. The Dodge Charger Daytona SRT concept has been imbued with the looks and sounds that should appeal to the muscle car brotherhood customer base. The concept is Dodge's vision of its replacement for the internal combustion engine muscle cars that will soon go out of production. The last Dodge Charger Sand Dodge Challenger are off the line at the Brampton, Ontario plant in December 2023. Here's what it sounds like from the live reveal on YouTube. Dodge brand CEO Tim Kuniskis says Dodge needed its own unique pathway to the EV age. The small brand would get lost if it tried to do things the same way as bigger players. To stand out and hold its own, Dodge needed to show electrification can still shock people. The Dodge Charger Daytona SRT concept is designed to impress and appease its loyal customer base, many of whom are fundamentally opposed to EVs and all they stand for. So, Dodge created an e-muscle car that looks mean and roars as loud as the Hellcats with supercharged Hemi V-8s that it will replace. We believe we need the sound and experience, says Kuniskis. That is why the car has a multi-speed transmission and an exhaust note, so the driver can feel and hear the crack of the exhaust while shifting. The Dodge Charger Daytona SRT is a large car, and yes, this Charger is a true coupe with only 2 doors, but with the hatch for greater utility. The concept, in Grays of Thunder dark glossy paint, has a clean design right down to the flush door handles and absence of a rear spoiler. It is muscle without being a caricature, bold yet subtle. Head of Dodge exterior design, Scott Krugger, says his team started by designing a muscle car, not an EV, with a signature face, swept profile, and turbine-style 21-inch wheels. It is also pure EV without a melted front for aerodynamics. Instead, true to the Daytona name, it has a nose cone built into it, a patented R-wing which allows air to pass through the front of the hood and enhance downforce while keeping a blunt Dodge profile that all but hides the headlights. There are carbon fiber intakes on both sides of the front and rear fascias for an air curtain to further improve aerodynamics. The front end is patented, as is the sound, which means these are intended for production. We found a way to make a muscle car slippery, Kuniskis says. What about the Fratzog logo Dodge has been teasing us with? The triangular badge adorned Dodge muscle cars from 1962 to 1976. And stood for nothing in particular. It now has a purpose as the new symbol for Dodge electrification, and there are Fratzog badges all over the concept. It glows white in the center of the crosscar light bar across the front grille, red in the rear taillight, and on the center locks of the wheels. Back to the sound. This is the industry's first exhaust system for an electric vehicle, producing a similar 126 decibel sound as the one coming from the today's Hellcat engine. Dodge calls it Fratzonic Chambered Exhaust. When the Daytona converts electricity to power, air flows through the exhaust system, and the sound produced goes through an amplifier and tuning chamber at the rear of the vehicle. You can see and feel the pressure from the exhaust coming out the back. Dodge is not revealing full specs and details yet, but we do know the high-performance SRT trim will be powered by a new 800-volt Banshee propulsion system. Lower trim models will have a 400-volt system. The screaming Banshee badge is on both sides of the car, where Dodge previously put Hellcat and Demon logos on its internal combustion-powered vehicles. The Banshee name and badge will be used only for the top-performing EVs. Kuniskis refers to the concept as the Daytona Banshee. The concept has standard all-wheel drive, so we know there are at least two motors, one up front and one in the back. AWD is also key to making the Daytona SRT quicker than the Hellcats that preceded, Dodge executives say. The Daytona Banshee has a multi-speed transmission with electro-mechanical shifting, dubbed Erupt. The transmission does not deliver more power, but allows the driver to feel each shift point, Kuniskis says. The brand chief won't reveal the number of gears or provide any performance figures yet. What we do know is there will be 3 power levels available, and customers can go to direct connection authorized dealers who will offer 6 more levels, all covered under factory warranty. All 9 power levels were designed in advance, with the hardware in place for additional upgrades at the time of purchase or later. And all 9 levels come with a new adrenaline boost. The Power Shot Push to Pass feature. Push a button on the steering wheel for an instantaneous discharge of power, delivering an extra 25 horsepower on demand for a few seconds, enough time to blow by the car in front of you. Drivers can choose auto, sport, track, and drag drive modes, which change the driving dynamics and corresponding displays, sound, and interior lighting. Dodge officials are not yet providing range figures, but Kuniskis argues Hellcat buyers don't care about fuel economy. He says both the 400 and 800-volt models will provide the range needed to be competitive. The car will use the new STLA Large platform developed by Stellantis, which is capable of up to 500 miles of range. But Kuniskis says the muscle cars will not hit that figure because of the elements that have been added to it. Despite the use of carbon fiber and other efforts to reduce weight, battery sizes for vehicles using STLA Large are expected to range from 101118 kilowatt-hours. The dark, sinister theme continues inside the vehicle, says Jeff Gale, Dodge's chief interior designer. The most striking feature is the multicolored lighting that stretches across the dash and through the doors, which have raised gray slats that strike diagonally for a unique look, which is not easy to do. In red, the light glows like lava flowing through troughs. There are circuit-like graphics on the carbon fiber floor that work their way up the vehicle, surrounding the passengers, flowing under the seats, and up to the center console and slim instrument panel. The 3-spoke performance steering wheel with flat top and bottom is also illuminated with the red SRT logo in the center, paddle shifters, and the Power Shot button on one side, and drive mode controls on the other. The Daytona has a pistol grip shifter and glowing red start button hidden under a jet fighter-inspired cap that you flip up to engage. The driver-centric cockpit has another Fratzog as the background to the 16-inch curved screen driver display. The 2.3-inch center screen is large by Dodge standards. The concept has 4 slim, lightweight, race-inspired bolstered seats with the perforated Fratzog pattern. Between the seats is a floating, open flow-through storage area, all lit up. The console runs to the back to serve all 4 passengers. The Daytona has a panoramic liftgate-style hatch, and the seats fold flat. To give the car more utility, you can stuff a snowboard in this muscle car. Dodge promised it would be true to its muscle car roots when it embraced the electric car age. Starting in 2024, the Dodge Charger Daytona SRT concept, which looks production-ready and has patents on its key features, appears to keep that promise.